Pickled asparagus is one of the lovely things that I like doing with this vegetable that has such a short season, but such a lovely flavor. My first step is to cut off all of the woody ends from my asparagus. So how I do that is I measure my asparagus up to my jar, and I make it so that the tip is right at where that shoulder is. And then I'll cut it, and this will be my guide for cutting all of my other ones. So this has two purposes. It gets it the right size for the jars, and it gets off those woody ends. Then I'll start taking handfuls of my asparagus, and I've already lined them up so that the tops are all at about the same point. And I'll compare them to my guide, and then I'll cut them. There have been times in the past where I felt bad for getting rid of so much of the asparagus, so I tried doing some things with it, but it's just too woody. It's not worth it. Sometimes there'll be a longer green portion that you could maybe do something with, and I'll just continue to work that way until I get through all of my asparagus. And I make sure that I keep that guide out separate from the other ones so that I have the same cut for all. Sometimes I'll pick an asparagus that looks a little bit different than the other ones, maybe is a little larger or something, just so that I know exactly which one it was. Generally speaking, 30 spears or 1 pound of asparagus will do 1 quart-sized jar. I figure in here I have anywhere from 2 to 3 jars. I then cover my asparagus with 1/3 of a cup of salt. Then I'll take this to the sink and I'll fill up until the asparagus are all covered. Throughout all of these steps, I try to keep the spears going the same direction because when I put them in the jars, I'll want all the spears facing one way. So this makes it a little easier. Now that it's in the salt water, I'll just let it sit for 2 hours and then I'll come back to it. Now that my asparagus is almost done soaking, I'll make my pickling brine. This particular recipe is for 2 quart-sized jars of asparagus. I'll start with 3 1/3 cups of white vinegar. Then I'll add 2 onions that have been sliced into rounds and then separated. I'll add 1 1/3 cups of sugar. This is what makes it more of a sweet pickle. 2 teaspoons of mustard seed. 3 teaspoons of dill seed. This is some stuff that I've harvested from my garden. And then 2 teaspoons of salt. Then I'll place this on the stove and bring it to a boil. Now that my brine is nice and hot, I'll put some in my jars. I start by grabbing some pieces of onion and dropping them down in the bottom. I usually like to use the centers for this because they don't tend to separate as much, and so they take up a little bit more space. Otherwise, it can be a little harder to use them around the rest of the asparagus. So I've already drained out my asparagus, and now I want to get a nice handful, but I want them all lined up with the tips going one direction. And I want to do 1 jar at a time, and then I do just as much as I can fit into that jar. The mouth is just a little narrower than the body of the jar is. And I try to be careful because I don't want to break off the tips of any of those spears. I want those to stay intact. All right, so I got those down. Now I'll go with the next jar. Now that salt water that we put these in is actually really important because what it does is it kind of dehydrates out the asparagus. It will draw out the water through osmosis. And why that's important is because when it goes in with the pickling brine, it will make it absorb more of that brine. This is the hardest part of the whole thing, is just getting them all in your hand and ready to go. Okay, and I should be able to wiggle in the rest of this asparagus. When I turn my jar on the side and kind of shake it, it straightens those all up. This is the best way. I've tried multiple different ways. If you try in the beginning just putting them in individually, I don't know, it just takes so long. Doing the handfuls and then adding more later is really best, I've found. Okay, so now I'll put the rest in this one. Just kind of shake it, that gets your space open. And then carefully putting these in. All right, and that's it. Actually, that was like so perfect. Now I have some dill weed. These have been sitting out for a little bit, so they're a little bit wimpy, but that's okay. They'll be fine. And I'll just feed them down in the side of my jar because I want to be able to see these. This is why I didn't make it so that it was like excessively tight in there. This adds to the flavor as well as making it look a little cool. And then I'll add one to this other side. Turning the jar to the side, it can make it a little bit easier. Then I'll also add 5 to 6 cloves of garlic each. This is an optional step, but they actually taste really good. My kids fight over the garlic pieces. And I'll start by throwing them in the top, but then I'll see if I can wedge some down in the sides. Because again, these are kind of neat looking. I feel like when we can also make things look beautiful, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Makes you want to eat it more. And just kind of tuck them in the side at different levels. This isn't really that important, just an artistic extra piece that you can do. I do recommend putting the garlic in though. Another thing that you can do is place jalapenos in here. If you like things spicy. Sometimes we do that. My husband really likes it. It actually is interesting because it adds just a little bit of spice to everything and makes the jalapeno less spicy, but pickled, and it's good. Now I'll add 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper flakes to each one. And this doesn't make it that hot. If you're really sensitive to heat, then you won't want to do it. But otherwise, I haven't had it be very bad for the kids. The only ones they have trouble with are the jalapeno ones. Now I'll add my pickling brine. And I want to put this up to 1/4 of an inch of headspace. I try to have equal amounts of onion in each jar. Sometimes it's easier just to take the onion out first. Before I get it all the way full, I'm going to use my chopstick again to press those onions down. Some of them can be on the top, but I just don't want all of them up there. I need enough room to do my headspace. And then I like to keep the brine stirred up just so that I get an equal amount of seeds in each of them. When I get down to the last little bit, I just pick up the pan. Then I'll take my chopstick and use it to debubble the jars. So I'll run it down the sides and even in the center to make sure that there's no bubbles of air that are sitting there. Then I'll double check my headspace to make sure that it still looks good. It does. So now I use a clean, damp cloth to wipe off the rims of my jars, which just makes it so that nothing can interfere with the seal. And then I'll place my lids and rings on fingertip tight. And then I process these in the boiling water bath for 15 minutes if at sea level. I'm at 1,200 feet, so I'll do it for 20. But I won't start my timer until after the water begins to boil. Now that my timer has gone off, I'll remove the lid, turn off the heat, and let it cool for 5 minutes. And then I take out my jars and I space them about 1 to 2 inches apart so that they can cool down quickly. I'll leave them there for about 24 hours so that they can get a nice seal. I know that they are sealed if the button that's in the center of the lid is depressed down. If not, I'll put it in the refrigerator, wait 3 weeks because these are pickles and it'll be fine in the refrigerator, but otherwise the flavor won't be good, and then I'll eat them. If they did seal nicely, then I'll place them in a cool, dry, dark location like my pantry and use them in the next 1 to 3 years. For the taste test, I opened up last year's pickles because these ones do need to sit for 3 weeks in order to absorb the flavor and actually become pickled. And it's so good. It's kind of got that sweet pickle taste, but it's got the dill to it too from the dill seed. Of course, the tang of the vinegar. Very tasty. I like it. One of my favorite ways to eat these is to use a piece of lunch meat, place some cream cheese down the center of it, and then I roll it up with the asparagus in the center. It looks really cute and it tastes so good.